Barbershop Conversations, man. Yay. So the reason why I stopped doing the show live, so you guys know, is because one, Kyle, I don't know how Kyle figured it out, but he said it on live and I kind of ignored him. And yeah, so, and I was talking to Champion Hart, how I wanted to impact these young men. And how I want to impact these young men is something that I can actually give, you know. So I'm going to be an assistant varsity coach here in LA. And I just had to get the work in, you know what I mean? I had to, you know, figure out the jobs, which one I want. You know, I had 2 job offers. I believe I chose the better one. You know, young coach, we're excited, got a good returning team coming back. It's his first year as a head coach. He's a young man. I'm excited. We start June 10th. So I was hinting at it too when I was telling y'all that more basketball and high school basketball content is coming, because that's when I had got the job. But when you get the job, you got to do your fingerprinting, you got to do your child abuse, you got to do your bullying, you got to do all these tests, you know what I mean? You got to do all the background, similar to when you apply to be a school teacher. It's the same thing. And so I had to go through all that, which leads me to this. Oh, and before this, today is June 1st, y'all. So camp starts today. I'm literally on my way to the gym right now. So so that's where we're at with that. And but yeah, what was I gonna tell you? Oh yeah, here's what I want to tell you about your applying for a job and whatever you feel you need to do and whatever you want to do in life. Fill up your resume, dog. Fill up your resume. I hadn't applied for a job since 2007. The only thing I've applied for in the past 15 years is loans. You know what I mean? When I buy a property, and it was, you know, and I hadn't filled out a job application since 2005. Yeah, so it's been 18 years since I filled out a job application. It felt kind of weird. I was telling the head of HR, I was like, I ain't filled out a job application in 18 years. This feels weird, you know what I mean? A lot has changed, you know? Oh, man. So, but yeah, man. In this community, they tell you to, in this culture, they tell you to live in the streets and do this, and I'm going to pat myself on the back as well as giving you guys the information. I filled out my job application, and honestly, the first time in a long time I've ever reflected on my life. And I was greatly impressed. You know, not to sound, but I'm getting to the point. Between the movies, the books, being an award-winning educator, getting to the top of boxing as a journalist, getting to the top as a producer, director, being Emmy nominated. I've gotten to the top of a lot of things while maintaining a family, being a family man, making millions of dollars, providing, and making, and everything I do, I own, you know? And I said all this to say, leave those felonies and those misdemeanors behind. Stay out of these streets and fill up your resume. Fill up your resume so when they get to your headstone, you have so many accolades. They just put a great father, a great husband, a great son. You know what I mean? Because it's too much to fill. You know what I mean? So you know, I was fortunate enough, as I told you guys, I had a misdemeanor, and I've gotten it expunged when I became a school teacher in 2001 or 2, you know, and I've since gotten it expunged, so you don't have to release it if you don't, and it's simply a part of my story, so it can inspire other people. But Don't listen to these people who say you got to sell drugs and get a felon. Because if I was a felon, I wouldn't be able to give back to the community in the best way I can, and that's through basketball. You know, the one thing I do know is basketball. You know, boxing as well. But I've spent more years in the intricacies of basketball than I have in boxing. And I just want to encourage all the young men out there and the young women that hears my voice. Fill up your resume. Fill up your resume. Focus on you. Don't go to jail. Stop listening to these guys on the internet. Because here's what I learned too about people on the internet. They lie to you. They full of lies. Because they tell you they this thug, they this street dude, but don't want to go to jail. You know what I mean? And I think we got to get back to family values, men raising families, men being leaders in their household, because everything you do in your house spills over into the streets. And I think we got to get back to being honest men and doing right by our last name. Because here's what I learned, and understand me clearly. Gangsters got to change clothes. Gangsters are very insecure sitting beside a lawyer. I'm gonna tell you that for real. Whether they're fighting a case or whether they're in just sheer company of a lawyer and a doctor and school teachers and professional people. Why? They don't have the same experiences. Doctors and lawyers are talking about going to France, Rome, Greece, Africa, Asia, Hawaii during Christmas and Thanksgiving. A gangster is talking about sitting on the block. We can't even have a conversation. You know what I mean? So you know what street dudes do? They lie to the community and be like, man, I'm tougher than you. Who cares about being tough? I could beat you up. They change the narrative. They attempt to change the conversation as to what masculinity is. Masculinity is simply to providing and protecting your family. That's it. That's it. There are always going to be men that can always beat up other men. All right? If that's your baseline of masculinity, you're doing it the wrong way. You know what I mean? It's like they always change it into feast or famine. Here's what a family man versus a gangster. A family man talks about, well, I'm taking my family to Rome. I'm taking my family to Greece. You know what a gangster is gonna say? I'll take your bitch. I'll take your woman. It's a difference, man. I'm telling you, it's a big difference, dog. And it's a completely different conversation, completely different. And I'm encouraging all these men, be men, man. Be men. Don't be afraid. It's cool to be corny. I like that. It's cool to be corny. And I wish everyone well out there, man. And let your light so shine that men may see your works. You know what I mean? You know that Timothy Bible verse. I didn't finish it though. But it's time, man. It's time, man. And so that's why I stopped doing the show. It wasn't because of anything else. It's because I really knew I wasn't gonna have the time, and I had to start putting in the time, start putting in the hours in basketball. So I've been volunteering. So you guys know, I volunteer every night, 2 hours. Every night I volunteer 2 hours, at least Monday through Thursday. Monday through Thursday, Frederick volunteers 2 hours a day to helping kids get better in the community in basketball. You know what I mean? And that's what I've been doing from like 5:30 to 7:30, literally every night. Every night I volunteer, 5:30 to 7:30. And it's fun, man. It's fun giving back, being a man in the community. Don't listen to what's going on and all the conversations, because I'm gonna tell you something. There are boxes we must check off as men. Married, own a house, assets, educated. I'm not sure whether it's college, whether it's trade school, being able to financially provide and lead. You understand? Being the example of a man that your daughter would want to marry. Procreating with the woman that you can see forever in. God-fearing. There's so many different ones that we got to check off. And this internet will have you believe that checking off one of your boxes is becoming a felon. Checking off one of the boxes is working out so you can beat up every man in the world. I do believe in self-defense. There's a level of strength that a man should have. But I'll tell you this. If you are a gentleman and you're providing and protecting for your family, and you've taken instead of going to investing in Taco Tuesday and Memorial Vegas trips, you take your family out of that environment and you put them in another environment that's family oriented. You live on a cul-de-sac, you know, parent-teacher involvement is amazing. You ain't got to worry about fighting, and I don't worry about arguing with my neighbor if the music is too loud. I don't argue with my, matter of fact, I mean, I wouldn't hear it anyway. Oh man. But for real, it's important. So I just wanted to let you guys know that's simply the real reason why. So I don't have the time to do it. I'm volunteering in the evening, and next week I'm a full-fledged assistant varsity coach here in Los Angeles. So that's the real reason. Now you guys know the truth. I can let the cat out the bag. You know, I had to get the job first, you know what I mean? And shout out to Champion Heart. So I'll be mentoring about 50 kids in the basketball program. And we got a great head coach. I'm excited to work under him. And it's my way of giving back to the community, man. I said I was going to do it. I said, give me a year. Remember last August, I said, give me a year, because I was in transition. I was moving to a new community. I said, give me a year. And lo and behold, that year, let's see, June. Oh, it's June 1st. Damn. July. 10 months. I put myself in a situation where I can give back to the community. I can be a father to my son. I can offer guidance, because my son wants to play basketball and he's definitely ahead of the curve. And but moreover than that, family and community is like this. And when you can do things that correlates, that connects family and community, you out here winning, man. You out here winning, man. So yeah, man. So that's the real reason. And starting mid-June, when we start playing games and stuff, you guys will start seeing more high school basketball content and stuff like that. And we got a hell of a team, man. We got a chance to win CIF this year. We got a chance to win CIF, man. So yeah, we're going to be rocking and rolling, man. And starting next week, man, we'll be in the gym every goddamn day. Every day we'll be in the gym. And I'm so excited. I'm grateful and thankful for the opportunity, man. I'm glad. I'm excited, man. So anyways, man, y'all go ahead and have a beautiful Thursday. It's also Lincoln and Kenny's last day of school. We start basketball tomorrow. First workout is 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. That should be exciting. And so that's it, man. So anyways, man, y'all go ahead and have a beautiful day. And that's the reason why I did. And don't forget, camp starts today, June 1st. Let's get in shape and start filling up that resume. Don't be a felon. Don't be a felon, man. You know what I mean? I had a misdemeanor. I've explained it to you guys 100 times over. I'm not a thug. I'm not a gangster. Corny is cool to me. I'm a cornball, man. You know what I mean? And you don't have to be a wolf. You know what I mean? There's plenty of animals in the animal kingdom. All right. Stop thinking you only got to be a lion. All right. These dudes in the street will have you believing that, oh, I got to be a lion. Y'all have a great day, man. Barbershop Conversations, man. Peace, y'all.